fellow hunters, Greg here, Widowmakerproduction, wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This video probably won't come out until, I don't know, maybe 29th, 30th, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, but what I got through with family here this morning and this afternoon and this evening and last night, and finally got some time to myself here. It's kids have gone to bed and I'm out in the workshop, and I actually plasticed off an area in my workshop so that I could work, heating it so I'm not heating the entire garage. And what I'm working on is, again, the Widow. Yeah, I know everybody's tired of hearing about the Widow. But what I'm doing is I'm monster mudding. And what we're doing is we're monster mudding the sarcophagus, I guess, of it. And the tombstone, which is over there. Part of the top. Another piece of the top there. And I wanted to show you a technique that I've been using that I think gives a pretty realistic look of what tombstones look like, at least the ones that are made out of limestone or marble, not so much granite. But the limestone tombstones that if you go to the graveyard and look around, they're all pitted, because the weather has gotten to them, and they used to be smooth, but now they've got little dimples in them basically all over. It's a texture that ends up being on them. And the way I achieve that is, here, let me show you, is that I'm using a looped roller, okay? And what this does, when you apply, it goes on really super thick, but if you roll it out until you get it nice and even, it gives you this really great texture. Okay, and I'm sure maybe you've used this roller in your house somewhere. Usually you see a lot of people use them on like ceilings in your house or whatever. But what it does is it gives you this, that dimpled look. Okay, and I know the lighting is really bad in here, guys, but let me see if I can get a light on this trusty flashlight here. I don't know if you can see that, but it gives you that rough texture. Okay, now once that dries and gets hard, then I go back with sandpaper and lightly sand it. And yes, you can sand monster mud. It sands just like regular drywall mud. Okay, and when you sand it, you smooth out all the high spots, but it leaves all the little dimples, and it gives you this great weathered look. So we're going to be doing that to the entire outside of this tombstone, and hopefully I can keep this garage warm enough to where it dries. That's what's got me a little worried. But we're staying around 55 degrees in here, so might take an extra day, but that's the game plan. And then once that dries, then I'll go through and I'll waterproof it, and then we'll paint it up. And then this prop will be 100% done. I'll mount the body back on, obviously, and everything. But then this prop is 100% done. One thing I wanted to show you real quick here, if I can get this to turn without disturbing everything. Hold on, I gotta set the camera down. For those of you that are actually trying to build this prop, and I've actually had a couple different people emailing me back and forth about how I went about doing this and the different things that they needed and stuff. I ended up adding another board here at the front. It's even with the top of this, I don't know what we're calling this, the gear mechanisms up inside of here, okay, the cog. So it's even with the top of this 2x4 or piece of plywood, sorry. So what I did is I took a piece of plywood, screwed it into the bottom, and then just cut a piece big enough to fit in between. And then when this thing rolls forward, it doesn't want to tip forward like it was in the videos. That helps give it a little bit more support. So that's the only real change that I've made. I guess that's about it, and I'll get back to work here and show you what the finished product looks like, hopefully tonight. So, alright guys, and there it is, all monster mudded. I don't know if you can see the texture that it leaves. And we'll go back and lightly sand that, you know, so just leaving little dimples in it. Paint it, waterproof it, paint it, and then it's done. And you can see I've got the split in the top here, and that is so I can take this off and access the mechanics below. This piece here just slides down over the control panel and down, and then the tombstone goes down on top of that. And what I did is when I cut my seam, I cut it, you know, at a crooked, you know, because your eye won't be drawn to a crooked line so much as it will be a straight line. And then I also thought, you know, it could, you know, be like the lid itself is cracked. So that's about it. This baby is all monster mudded. I just hope it sets up. I got the heat going out here, and hopefully we can get this done before the end of the year. At least that's the goal. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, and I'll keep you updated. And there it is, all painted. I don't know if you can see the texture. I don't think you can in this light, but you can see it there. That's the texture you end up with, guys. And if you look, you can see it's flat, you know, like when it was originally carved, but then the weather has pitted it, you know. And that's the look I was going for. So this is the first coat of paint. I went with a much lighter color than I did on the original one. Wanted to be more of a white limestone, and white was the only color paint I had laying around. I tinted it a little bit with some black to just give it a little bit darker shade than just plain white. And now we'll go back and I'll tea stain it, and that'll change it a lot in color, make it more grayer looking. And anyways, but there's that seam I was telling you about. You know, your eye isn't drawn to it so much, and even if you do see it, it'll look like it's a, you know, a crack in the lid itself. So next step, tea staining. I'll let this dry. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Get the whole thing in the video. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's more than I expected. You know, better than I thought it would turn out. So far so good. Heat's keeping up. Everything's going good. Right on schedule. Today's the 27th. Hopefully tea stain it tomorrow, and post a video Saturday night, hopefully. So, alright. Well, there she is. 100% complete. Everything I can possibly do to it is done. Did our tea staining a little bit. Got a little crazy right there with the tea staining, and it didn't turn out too hot. So I might redo this, but not today. Not this month at least. Wait till it warms up. I'm not going through heat in the garage again for the next week, trying to get all that stuff done again. But you know, it turned out pretty good. Pretty happy with it. And I actually added some lights into the eyes. It's got sound now, so not too shabby. It's you know, good enough for me. So alright, you guys want to see it run, huh? Alright, let's get it fired up here. Well, that's it, friends. The Widow is done. I hope that this video series has helped you guys out, at least for those of you that are trying to build it. I hope that you know, I've helped in some way, at least given somebody a new idea, a new twist on something else. So that's about it. It's really super late here, and I'm going to bed. But I wanted to get this done, get this video up. So that's it. More to come in the month of January and February and so on. New builds. Finishing up another one that got started last February. The Scarecrow prop. That's probably the next thing I'll be finishing up here next on the list. And I'll set a goal date of end of January on finishing that, and there isn't that much to do on it, but it's good to have goals. So I actually met the goal on this one, and that was to get this thing done by the end of the year. So at least got one of my goals done, accomplished. So that's it. Happy hunting. See you